Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and welcome back to an episode of the Minecraft Bedrock Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the weekly update as to what's been going on, both in my Update Adventures world, as well as life, the universe, and everything in between, like sheep in minecarts, chilling next to some glowberries, which is something you wouldn't normally have under your Minecraft village, but is very essential to mine, and by the end of today's video, you'll understand perfectly. Or much more likely, I'll forget to explain it and you'll be more confused than when you began, but trust me when I say that that is an important part of the growing procedure that we're going to be going through today, because this Let's Play is going out on not a Monday, and there's a reason for that. I was involved in a bit of an accident, and I want to talk about that accident a little bit. But first, I want to talk about something way better, because I recently needed a ton of sandstone, and I used up all of the sandstone in my world. It was really tragic until I realized, just under here in my village, that I actually have a few stacks of sandstone just lying around here anyway. And one of my favorite things about having such a long world of so many weird projects that I've done and collected resources over is that you're never really out of resources. You might just find them on the other side of the world. When you have like an infinite number of resources lying around in chests, it is a powerful feeling, but it's also cool when you go around and you discover like, oh, I have more diorite than I know what to do with. I bet I could use this for something interesting. I don't know what that interesting thing is because, let's be honest, it's diorite. But yeah, it's really fun in my opinion to slowly realize these things about yourself. And so yeah, given that today we're going to be doing some villager trading anyway, my pickaxe is so dead from the ice episode, I figured I'd do just a Let's Play episode in the style that I used to, where it's just how many minutes of entirely unedited, uncut thoughts. Partially because I cannot do any editing right now because of my elbow, but partially because, trust me when I say that's not the primary reason, it's just a very strong motivating factor. But yeah, partially because I also just feel like I want to do one of these. The Let's Play is one of my favorite series on this channel, but I think like so many people can do in their own lives, I often psych myself out about it. I'm like, I want to just record I want to sit down, have a chill discussion about some things, and then I'm like, no. You need to have the biggest thing planned. But at the start of the video, you should be doing something that is finished by the end, because, there's got to be a purpose to it all. If you haven't done that, then there was no purpose, and you might as well have not recorded a video anyway. Add that to the fact that, like, the Let's Play is what it's one of the series that is watched by longer term subscribers of the channel and less by new people, so it's worse recommended and it hurts the channel. And it's like, you know what, isn't it just easy to not do it? And yeah, I wanted to talk about like basically what is a direct contradiction. A lot of YouTubers, it's so easy to just not mention your mistakes and be like, yeah, I've if we talk about the things I've done great recently, and as humans tend to do, but like one of the things I mentioned literally 6 to 8 weeks ago was I want to be more consistent with getting the Let's Plays out on Mondays. And then this last month I didn't have Let's Plays because my world broke, and then I've had like some of the most honestly, some of the most like emotionally draining stuff I've been going through in the last few weeks. And then literally the day before yesterday, which was when I was going to record the Let's Play, I broke quite I fractured a number of bones in my body and hurt some ligaments. So I don't even understand the human body. Just I can't do things like fully because of a physical injury, which funnily enough was from e-scootering. I'll talk about it in a minute, but yeah, it's funny stuff in my opinion. But yeah, so I've got a decision to make right now. Do I throw my diorite into the chest, or do I make a build out of that diorite now? I mean, I could build it as part of my, let's make a little diorite build. In fact, I'll build my diorite into the thing that I'm doing right now. It'll come up very handily, because you might have noticed in some background gameplay that I've been working on a desert temple, or a desert temple like kind of version hybrid. I think the original video I was building it for was something about structures, but I really enjoyed building it, and so it's come up a few times. But yeah, I was missing the sandstone to finish this thing. It wasn't even much sandstone, that's the worst thing. I just need to, like, again, look at these top blocks right here. It's clearly missing something, just one of these on each side. It's clearly missing, the inside pathways, and just this will allow me to finally do that. Wait, what if we make the floor out of diorite, because I've got, this floor right now is a bit ugly, being half sand, half grass. What if I remove all of the floor and make it diorite instead? Then I'll get some grass, then I'll get some sand. Now that is a solid idea, I reckon. Anyway, so, yeah, there is this, I've got a whole thing to talk about as far as what's been going on in life. But first of all, I just want to say, how is everyone doing? You having a good time? Aren't those dumb questions? Because it's not like you can answer me anyway. It's kind of a rhetorical question. Is designed to hopefully invoke the sense that I care about how that you're doing. Although, you know, realistically, how much can one person ever really care about a group of people much larger than one person? You know, isn't that a interesting question? Like, you know, like, people always love these platitudes, and it's like, ooh, it's like they really care. And it's like, the key word in that sentence is like, you know, it's not that they really care, it's like they really care. It is almost like that, but it doesn't mean that it is that, you know? I know, maybe I'm just being cynical at this point. I think what I should do is replace some of these with stairs, and that way light can get through them, and this place won't be so dark that it spawns mobs. Because obviously in the natural generation, you kind of want to do that. But obviously right now this is not a naturally generated structure. And so having, for instance, 3 stairs up there can let this amount of light get through. And then we could do like 3 stairs over here too, I'm sure. Wait, this is 5. Okay, yeah, 3 stairs over here. Let some light through there. And then you know what? We'll do the same over here too. 1, 2, 3. And if we do that in all the parts, we might, keyword there, might, just have enough light to stop mob spawning. We'll find out for sure in a minute. But yeah, there is this really interesting thing that people, we like these kind of platitudes because, you know, it's better to have the platitude and at least it be mostly incorrect than to not even think that you need to do it at all. I don't know. To talk about topical events, I saw I'm not like a music concert part. Like I don't quite understand the idea of watching music live besides being surrounded by people who share an interest with you. That's like the closest thing I get. And even then, it's not like you're talking to them because you're all listening to incredibly loud music together. But like one of the things that's always interested me about music, going is that like you spend a lot of money and then you get to listen to worse quality music because there's no studio mixing or whatever it is. Oh, actually, we should have the slabs be reversed so they look less ugly. Because now no one will be able to tell. Oh, we have to do it from the inside, I guess. If we do it this way, then you won't be able to tell from the outside that they're stairs. And from the inside, it looks like a cool feature. Looks like we know what we're doing a little better. But yeah, I feel like, so there was this big festival recently. A lot of people, music event, concert, I think might be the correct term. And a lot of people got crushed because too many people got in. Somewhat illegitimately, and it's really interesting to look at because during all of that, the guy performing was like, I don't really, he was trying to drown out the sounds of like, please stop the show, please get a medic, because he thought they were trying to stop his show, and there's a part of me that like entirely empathizes with that of like, you don't know until it's happened that this is a major event that is going to leave people dead. You assume it's just people doing what people normally do. You know, people are very good at complaining. Oh, look how weird it is that these blocks look darker than the ones to the sides of them. I have no idea why that is. But, people are very good at complaining about things, especially things that don't affect them. This is the, I feel like this is like the curse of our time, is that people love to find things that don't affect them and to believe that they do. You know, like, it tends to be people who live, like, incredibly, not sheltered lives, but, like, you live a life with little hardship for yourself. But, like, fighting hardship is one of your favorite things. So you'll find hardship for other people, which theoretically can be one of the best things humanity does. You know, helping out other people directly. Like there's a big homeless problem in your area, and you go there and you work at a soup kitchen to help it out. That's cool when people are motivated to change something. But what's scary is when people are like, no. My vision of changing things is not to make things better myself. It is, I am going to complain until someone else makes them better. It's got all the benefits of feeling like you're doing something. You know, instead of going to a soup kitchen to help out the homeless, say that, no, actually, homelessness is a systemic problem, and it can't be solved by one person going to a soup kitchen, so I'm not even going to try, and instead I'm going to advocate for the action that can solve it. See, now, there you go. Now, that's a big money move, right? Like, ooh, you don't have to do something, but you get to feel like you've done more than something. And so, yeah, you can understand why people would do that, why people feel like that's a thing that happens to them, because it is happening to people all the time. Like, people will be like, yeah, this thing you're doing is literally the worst thing anyone can do. And so everyone kind of, like, numbs it out, drowns it out. And anyway, the reason I bring this up is because, like, so in addition to my list of reasons why listening to live music doesn't sound fun, I feel like crowds are the scariest thing in the world. Because, you know, like, no one can tell what's happening in front of them. They're just trying to get themselves into position in that crowd, right? Everyone's just like, yeah. Oh, actually, I think this is like a 9x9 circle in the center, and then we just have stairs going around the outside. I think a desert temple is more like this. Anyway, yeah, that's a thing that people do have the belief of, right? Like, yeah, I just need to get where I'm going. Like, it's not like people are getting crushed to death, because most of the crowds you've been in your life have not involved someone being crushed to death, probably, I don't think. And so, you know, like, but, like, as someone who has, like, I don't know, maybe I just had too much time in the early 2010s, and so watched a lot of videos of people being crushed to deaths in crowd. It's like, oh yeah, humans can focus on what's directly in front of us, but we do a really bad job at focusing on things that are in front of that. Like, we have a very narrow view of focus that we can even really acknowledge exists, and everything else is just kind of fair game. Also, I think these go up like this, like kind of, yeah, again, we're trying to make this a semi-accurate desert temple, obviously of this lovely back end right here, just to make it a bit different. There's like a secret room that you'll only be able to access if you know it's there. And we'll make it like, there we go, here's a good idea. If we make the wall kind of like secret looking, so if we make this out of like backwards stairs, for example, then people won't know it's there, and then they can get access to the chest. And guess what? I deliberately have a chest in my inventory. I knew this moment was coming. And they can get great things like, I don't know, golden carrots. Everyone loves golden carrots, right? Everyone loves golden carrots. And then that could be the guide to get through some track later. See, that's a fun idea. So let's throw emerald in there, and in there, and there. And then, yep, that's it. As you can see, that is a genius chest for someone to one day venture into if they know what they're doing. Or they can just come in via the top, I guess. That's probably the smarter way in here. So let's go make a ton of slabs, and let's make this work. Anyway, so yeah, I learned a lot about like why that's not really my thing. But the bigger thing to learn from all of this is that like bad things happen all of the time from incredibly innocent seeming actions, right? And okay, you know what? Let me talk about the most innocent seeming action in the world. Did you know that electric scooters are a form of transport? I don't think I've ever mentioned it here on this channel. I think they're pretty cool. And so it's very funny as someone who's like such a big advocate for me to like, and one of the biggest criticisms against e-scooters generally is that like, people are idiots on them and they'll get into some form of accident, usually involving a pedestrian. Because like, it's really hard to demonize something if you say they might hurt themselves. Because as a society, at least in the Western world, you might live somewhere different where like individual risk is seen as collective risk, and to some extent it is. That, you know, like if you kill yourself tomorrow, you know, like please don't, by the way, if you're considering doing so. You know, at least make it through the weekend. But if you consider killing yourself tomorrow, that it sounds like it's you're the biggest one to lose from that. And then some people mention your family, but like I don't know, maybe I'm just a monster who doesn't care enough about my family. But that was never in my mind. But something that is technically, you know, that is very much true actually, is that like, yeah, society put a lot of money into, you know, and a lot of effort, honestly, into making sure that you could be where you are today. Society put a lot of investment into. See, when you put a half slab there, it gets like weirdly. The lighting is just very strange. Anyway, society put a lot of effort into making sure that you could be a full-grown human being, and then you're gonna undo that effort, huh? That seems not very nice of you. So yeah, we're gonna have half slabs there, just to be a bit different and quirky. So like you know, like even though you are the bigger loser in terms of you lose your life, society loses, you know, all of that. Yeah, you can definitely tell something's up right here. Why is lighting so weird on half slabs? Is this a bedrock only thing, or like this just doesn't look good? It doesn't look good at all. If I do that, it's also still not very good. I like it though. I think I'll do it anyway, because that way it looks like it's because it's on top, and then it still looks like a block here vaguely. But yeah, so as a, you know, like like, it's really hard to demonize people for making their own mistakes because, again, the biggest loser from, even though, like, we all lose when you die, the bigger loser is you because you don't get to live life anymore. And generally, most people agree that life is worth living. Is that true, actually? I'd love to see someone do a poll on that. But most people probably agree that life is worth living. Would love to citation, fact check that one. But yeah, most people agree on that to some extent. So I'm going to remove this block now. And then there we go. See, if you're looking carefully, you'll be able to spot there's something going on back there. I think these, honestly, give it away way more. But they're on all the sides, so... Why is this so much darker than the other sides? Is it because... Yeah, there's... Yeah, I guess we might as well replace those with full blocks. Just for the sake of, like, they're not letting any extra light in. And then we'll let extra light in on the top somewhere, maybe? I don't even know. Anyway, so, yeah, generally we say that, like, yeah, you can't... You obviously cannot be making that, like, you're the biggest loser, so we don't really care. But, so, like, when it's like, you might injure people are like, ooh, that's real bad. Anyway, so, I always thought that, like, realistically, people don't really get in that many e-scooter crap. Like, there's something like, there were 32 injuries in 2019 involving e-scooters in the UK. And it's like, well, I mean, is that actually a very bad number, given the population and given the thousands of, tens of thousands of e-scooters that exist? Anyway, so it's very funny as someone who's been in my position to be like, oh yeah, so actually, I did do something on an electric scooter that resulted in me being injured enough that I decided to go to the hospital. And so allow me to tell you what that is, just in case you're curious. Oh, there was already a chest in here, and it already had golden carrots in. You know, I'm just too good I'm just too good to the people checking out this world. That's what I reckon. Anyway, so and now we're gonna remove all of this and replace it with andesite too, just because. Is it? No, sorry, diorite. Everyone's favorite block, right? People love diorite. It's one of the prettiest blocks in the game. I mean, just look at this texture and tell me you don't wanna build things out of this. And I'll tell you that you're a liar. Anyway, so yeah, I was showing like I had a cousin stay at my house because they needed to be in London for the evening, and I was like, oh, rather than staying on this sofa, you can stay in my spare bed if you like. And by spare bed, I mean I have a mattress on the ground outside my office. And a mattress on the ground is a huge improvement when it comes to, in my opinion. And so anyway, I offered my cousin, rather, that, and then in the morning before they went off, they're like, oh, you got an electric scooter. That's cool, can I give it a whirl? And, like, everyone's been on anyone who cares about it has been on an electric scooter. So if you haven't, then that means you're an old person. Hate to be the one to tell you this, but someone needs to tell you eventually. Anyway, so everyone who, like, cares about it has been on an electric scooter by now. But like, yeah, most people have to use the ones that are super legally at least in Europe, they're incredibly regulated. They got like 15.5 miles per hour. They slow down. They have weird acceleration curves because the motors can only be 250 watts. And they're like, they're fun in the sense that like if you get going down a hill, you'll be going places, but they're not powerful. And so I have this very, very beefy electric scooter. And, I let my cousin give it a ride, and she had a lot of fun. She got up to, like, 20 miles per hour. She's like, I couldn't really get above that, though, without feeling like I was going too fast and I was going to fall off. And so, you know what my response to that is. Like, I have to show that this is perfectly possible. And so, even better than that, I jump on my e-scooter as I'm going 20-something miles per hour. And it's fun, it's no problem. But then I come up to, like, a rough patch of terrain. And because I'm so used to riding my e-bike, what I do is I brake really, really hard. Because on a bike, you're a really, really low center of gravity, and so you can afford to brake quite hard. On a scooter, you're a high center of gravity, so you need to do a lot more back braking than front braking, unless it's an absolute emergency. And so just for a rough patch of ground that would have, like, been slightly bumpy to go over, genuinely wouldn't have even noticed it if I just, again, broken a tiny bit. Or even not broken, it would have just been, like, uncomfortable, like, but instead, I brake almost full force using the wrong brake, the front brake. And if you've ever been on a bike and you front brake too hard, you know that just causes you to go over the front handlebars. And so that happened to me. And I went over the front handlebars, just going from 20 to 0 miles per hour in a second. So I go flying at roughly 20 miles per hour. And yeah, I didn't even realize it, but I just like land on the ground and I'm like, ouch, something hurts a lot. But I don't know if this is just me, but like I knew there was like a dog walker behind me because like I was obviously just riding past her, and I was like, I need to get up. I need to not look. I I don't want the embarrassment of thinking like, oh no, someone's in pain. Because honestly, this is one of the weird things about pain, right? Like when you communicate to someone else that you're in pain, you're not just hurting yourself, you are hurting that person. Like, right? Am I off base on this one? Internet, tell me what you think. I like this diorite floor, by the way. It does add to the atmosphere. I feel like more of it should be diorite now, but I don't want to get too diorite-y in here. You know, I'll make this side out of diorite. There we go. That's good enough for me. We'll have it like kind of shift into diorite slowly, maybe. And on this side, we could have... Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll have it shift into diorite. So we'll have like this go over here, and now it's all the way diorite, huh? And then, yeah, you know what? That's good enough for me. This seems like plenty of work. Anyway, so yeah, this is my... There's definitely a dark corner that needs some work here. Maybe just replace with a slab or something. Yeah, if I place this corner with a slab, then it will be visible from the outside that it's just a slab, but not from the inside, and I bet no one's looking. Like, if I do that, and then this and that, yeah, I feel like no one even knows, right? I feel like it's not even noticeable. If I then do the same on the other side, yeah, there we go. This is just me customizing my desert temple, making a probably very ugly thing, but enjoying it anyway. See, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this style of Let's Play so much more, because it's like, you know, but maybe given the circumstances, it's stressful, it's whatever. Anyway, so I fell off. I went into the really harsh ground, like hand first, because obviously need to protect. You know, like I feel like it's human instinct to put your hands out first. I don't know for sure that it is, but that's my instinct and my feeling. And so I land on my hands, and it's actually like fine. Something hurts a lot. But, like, I realize I can get up just fine, and I do get up immediately. And I'm just like, oh, God. The scooter. No. It's like a piece of plastic, which has fallen off the scooter. And I'm like, no. So, like, you know, my first thought is, like, embarrassment. My second thought is, like, oh, no. You know, my expensive piece of equipment that I haven't been able to use legally, and I've been waiting politely to be legalized. I'm not, you know, like, what if I break it before I finally can? You know, that's like a real terrifying thought to me. And then after those thoughts, I'm like, oh, yeah, I also have to ask my cousin, like, can you pick that up off the ground? You know, I'm just a little shaken up. Yeah, I then, like, I get my cousin back to the station, all fine. She heads home, very, very fun time. But then, after that, obviously, I kind of, like, realized, because I'm, like, going to the store, I've got to run some errands. I'm like, so walking really, really hurts. And then I pull my phone out of my pocket to check what the time is. I'm like, oh, I can't pull my phone out of my pocket without excruciating pain that caused me to almost drop my phone. That's not good. Excruciating is a bad type of pain. But, like, you know, it's gonna be fine. It's everything's a-okay. And so, because, you know, most types of pain, they're, like, really bad for a second, and then they get much better later down the line, right? That's my usual insight on this thing. Maybe I'm the one in the wrong. By the way, do you like it? I feel like we did a good job. It looks a little bit ugly from the front, but it's meant to. You know, it's in the ugly area with these ugly walls and this ugly thing. I'm just building over here, and I'm enjoying myself, and that's what matters more than anything else. Am I right? So now we can move on to a different. You know, I feel like genuinely, I don't think I need to do anything more on this project. I think this is a pretty decent little thing. I feel like we should have the little central points where it goes underground, but I like that you walk in here and you don't. It's not what you expect, you know. I like that it's a little bit different in a few ways, and that's cool. I like the weird desert temples all over my world. I should do something with them later, right? Have a little Easter egg game inside of them. A little quiz where you have to go inside all of them. Well, not a quiz, but like a riddle to find a weird chest at a random coordinate. Anyway, speaking of weird chests at random coordinates, I'm now gonna go, because I healed up my pickaxe by doing some trading. I know I trade super inefficiently for someone who probably should have worked that out by now, but like it works for me, and so I just haven't fixed it. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna have to clear out this inventory. I guess we'll head home first. And so yeah, everything's like fine, and then I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna lay down for a bit, make sure get these injuries out of there. Because yeah, I feel like a lot of people say that like the time you're best is after an injury, whereas to me it's like there's this moment of extreme everything hurts all the time and I'm never gonna be okay, and then everything slowly gets better. But this is the first time in like a really long time. Where in like at least physical pain. Where the physical pain was like getting worse over time. Like I walked all the way to the store, a Tesco in case you're curious. And then by the time I was in Tesco, walking around, I was like, first of all, if I had to like walk around a person, I was like, oh my god, 4 extra steps, kill me now. And you know, even though that's like my normal thought in real life, like, you know, why are you blocking the whole aisle? They make them really wide, unless you've got a trolley and you're a monster who insists on, you know, shopping like you're a car inside of a store. Like, unless you're like, it's fine. You can all you gotta do is you just gotta be near the side, near the aisles. Don't be in the center. Don't block the whole thing with your conversation or whatever. This is a store, sir. This is not a place to be having conversations to inconvenience someone who later found out he had a broken toe. Anyway, so I'm walking around. It's excruciatingly painful. And I just realized, like, I'm not going to make it home. I don't think I'm going to do it. But I have to, you know? What am I going to do otherwise? There's not other solutions here other than make it home. And so I do, you know? I do decide to go home. And then I just lay down. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need that time and just sit here for a bit and just, yeah, it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna sit down and lay down and everything will be fine. And yeah, at this point I started to realize, like, oh, what if something is like broken or fractured or sprained or whatever? Like, that sucks. Like, I feel like it's interesting. I thought I was the only one who had this feeling. It's really cool that on the internet, like, multiple people have shared that that's them too. The first time you see someone with like a broken arm or leg and everyone's like, oh my god, that's so crazy. My first instinct was like, oh man, I've never broken an arm or leg. That sounds interesting. You know, it's like, it proves that like base human point of like, we would much rather have interesting times than easy times. It seems, at least that's how we for whatever reason, that is how we be. And okay, so let's break down here. So we'd much rather have interesting times than easy times. Maybe just as children, maybe over our entire lives. I don't know. You tell me what you believe is the prevailing belief there. So yeah, I'm digging below this chunk, basically all the way to the ground. I think I might stop here at Y14, because like, without the conduit effect to help me out, I mean, what's even the point? Look at this. I have to float up a few blocks to get this conduit effect and do this instant mining. Anyway, so yeah, it's interesting that we care about interesting things more than good things. But yeah, I used to always be jealous of it. But I've never actually had a broken anything. And I think as an adult, you really don't want it. Like, whenever I see people with, like, this is maybe me just being, like, I don't know what the word would be. But, like, I feel like I've always had this belief in me of, like, you need to, like, when you have a problem, making it the world's problem doesn't make it any better. It just, like, in the sense, like, when you show people that you are hurt. Oh, that was so weird. You see how those gravel blocks fell? They just went straight from being where they were to being 1 block lower. That's incredibly strange. I'm not sure why that happened. So yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to break the ceiling, and we're going to see what that does. I guess I'm going to have a little hole here that goes all the way down to the center. You know, we have to have that, just for my curiosity. Diamonds! See? It all works out in the end anyway, because we get some diamond ore. This is some very old diamond ore, I'll admit. But it is diamond ore. It counts all the same. And we dig down a few blocks below that, and what do we find? We find bedrock. Oh, we find gravel. And then we find more gravel, and then we find bedrock. Sad to find gravel this close to bedrock. Anyway, so as you can see, we're gonna hole the way down to bedrock. This will be one of the opportunities we can look at later as like a, ooh, look, we can remove that because it will become deep slate in the next update. So yeah, anyway, here we can see there is a hole all the way down to bedrock. But I don't feel the need to make the rest of this holes down to bedrock. I'm just going to mine the valuable resources as we see them, because I do need a lot of coal these days. And yeah, then what we're going to do is we're going to say, hello, I'm IBX Toy Cat. And the point of this whole story is I don't like showing... I feel like showing weaknesses like I feel like it's like a very guy trait to be like, yeah, I don't want to, you know, like, it's almost like animalistic too. Like, have you noticed how like a lot of animals, they don't tell you they're sick, they just stop eating so they die. Like that, it's the most metal thing in the world. It's also like really sad. But like, that's how animals announce to you, their owner that they love, that they're going to die. It's like, I have decided, you know, I have some really bad cancer and life is pain. I'm gonna not eat until I starve to death. It's like, it's metal, but it's also like, yeah, that, I mean, you know, good job on you for not being in distress and like making super loud noises and being like, ah, blah, blah. You know, like making my, like right, like it's mean to say, but if you were gonna die, if you were gonna witness someone die, a random human being, would you rather it just be like, oh, they're gone, or would you rather them scream like, oh god, it hurts, I don't want to go to the other side? You know, like I feel like a lot of movies play on this trope of like, usually when death is depicted in a TV show, movie, media, it's like instant, it's painless, it's over. Like shut your eyes now, it's over, puppy, or whatever. But you know, when it's like a more horrific style thing, it's always like gruesome, and they're always like begging not to die. They're like, I have kids, I have, like, and it's fascinating. It's very, very fascinating. Maybe just to me, but still fascinating to me. Anyway, so okay, so I'm grabbing all the dirt because dirt's not a valuable resource or anything, but it kind of is. Like, I do have a dirt shortage always because I'm doing so many weird terraforming projects, and so it's always cool to pick some up when I can. Anyway, so now that we've done all of this, what we can do is we can go up to the ceiling and we can start breaking that to make this chunk go down just a little bit. It'll be a lot of fun, I think, at least. So yeah, okay, should we do this? Let's do this. You know, one of the things, that people ask a lot is why these Let's Plays. I'm gonna take the play here too. I feel like it's a good resource to have. One of the questions I've been having a lot recently is like, how do you manage to upload so much? Because obviously, when people talk about the channels in conjunction, if you look at just this channel, it's like, it's pretty, like, I feel like I've been missing upload times a lot recently because I haven't, like, it's when it's just working by myself, it's like, yeah, I can just, stay up late to make sure that I get a video done in time. But like when it's someone else working, I don't have the, in this same way, like you can put yourself through pain, but like putting someone else in pain, not a good thing to do. So like I can't ask my editor to stay up super late because I got footage to them late, so we can get this video up on time. It's like, nah, like I made the mistake, I'll suffer, by making sure that it goes down. But again, just an interesting way to link that all together. But one of the other reasons why this, why it's so easy for me to upload so many videos is because I love just making a video, doing the fun bit, like talking to the camera like I'm doing right now, while doing something I find enjoyable, which is this right here, and hopefully showing you something about that. Maybe even teaching you a thing or two along the way. I don't know why I find that enjoyable, but I do. And yeah, there's gonna be this moment we're gonna hit where we actually are gonna break down a layer, and I'm not sure how to react to that. It's gonna be a big moment, huh? It's gonna be a very big moment. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't actually mention. So I was super in pain, and I went to the. I want to avoid going to the hospital at all costs. Like in America, people are like, oh yeah, if hospital was free, I'd go there all the time. Which sort of like proves the point as to why free at the point of use healthcare is kind of dangerous, because it's not that it's free healthcare, right? It's healthcare you've already paid for, whether you use it or not, and so you're kind of like, if you don't use it, you're just paying for something you don't need, which maybe is a great system if you think that everyone should use medical resources all of the time as much as humanly possible, I'll admit. But one of the interesting quirks of, well, like, again, I've lived in a country where going to the hospital has always been free, but it doesn't mean it's a fun thing to do. If you don't know, I think this is true in a lot of other countries too, but like, if you have like a critical injury, or, like, again, I'm not saying I have one, but like if you had a critical injury, you go to something called accident and emergency. I think it's called urgent care in America and other countries. But you go to this place and it's like, yeah, you gotta, like you go there and they make you better. That's what their job is, but like really quickly because it's important. And so I'm gonna kill this cow over here. And so the average wait time there is like 4. I think the target wait time is 4 hours actually, but then they don't hit that target, something like, or they hit the target 85% of the time, which means 15% of people spend more than 4 hours there. I have been, every time I've been there with someone else, it's been mostly against my own will. It's been like, I guess I technically have to go with you, huh? Sort of situation. And it's always been a ludicrous wait time. Like, I'm sitting in a hospital wait room for like 4 hours at 2 a.m. It's not pleasant, by the way. And then at the end, they're like, oh, yeah, it's basically nothing. Here's the solution, just like, please leave us alone. We've got real people to deal with. Is how I've always taken that. But even if it's not, even if it is just like, yeah, I think you overestimated the severity of your own situation. Like the advice has basically been, yeah, if you hadn't come here, things would have still been fine. And yeah, this is the first, like, so as a result, I'm always like skeptical of going there. Like, I don't want to waste 4 hours of my life to be told that I wasted 4 hours of my life. You get me? And so yeah, the only reason I went in the end is because I was like, okay, the fact that I can't use my arm means something is definitely injured. I need to work out what it is and how much I can use the arm without long-term damaging it. Because the only thing that does terrify me about injuries, like I don't mind the extreme pain I get when I try to extend my arm or twist it or use my phone or really anything. Right now, every time I press the right stick down to do this, it hurts quite an extreme amount, but I don't mind. I think crouching in Minecraft is worth the extreme fun pain it's causing me right now. Like, just be a Toy Cat. This is just a video of Toy Cat hurting himself by crouching in Minecraft. But you know, I personally believe that like the thing I want to do is worth the mild pain it will cause me. But the only thing that does worry me is like long-term damage, right? Like maybe if by using a thumb that is hurt far too often, now the thumb will be less useful in the future. And I don't think that's not true for like a muscle that hurts. Like muscles, literally their whole thing is they break and they heal. That's how you grow muscles, if I'm not mistaken. Don't ask me. I'm not a scientist doctor. Anyway, so one of the things that I've ooh, we got an air pocket over here. Isn't that nice? One of the things that I like was just kind of worried about is like, what if it heals wrong? You know, what if it, because you know, if you have a broken bone and then you put it in the wrong position, it heals wrong. You know, you see this in animals all the time, and it's tragic. And it's like, you know, I'd rather not be like a, you know, like a pigeon with a foot that's broken to the right, or a, you know, like a poor, you know, Ukrainian boy that has his arm on backwards. Let's just like check and make sure we're getting the advice right. And so I went to, actually, interestingly enough, I went to one of the best hospitals in the country. I didn't realize, like I kind of did realize, but I never put it together that it was so close to me. That, so in the UK we have public hospitals and private hospitals. Publics are the ones that you pay for with your free at the point of use healthcare. And then there's a very few private hospitals, mostly just public hospitals that have like a private wing, where if you're, you know, like paying, you get like, you know, slightly better, slightly more private medical treatment, I guess, and sometimes maybe better doctors, but usually it's just the more private medical treatment. Anyway, so I didn't realize, but like, yeah, there are some good public hospitals. I didn't even realize that one of the closest ones to me, I think it's the second closest, is one of the best in the country, and so that was pretty cool. I was hyped. I was like, ooh, now I want to go to hospital. I'm gonna get like actually good medical advice that isn't just, I wish you hadn't come here and bothered me with your, like, you know, your eye which is bleeding, or, you know, I wish you hadn't come here and bothered me with, you know, like, whatever else it is. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be good. And there was no one in there. There was 3 people. And I was like, oh, it's not even going to be a 4-hour wait because it's a well-funded hospital. And I don't know how it happened, but there was only 6 people in there with me, like, because I went through a second process. But it still took 4 hours. There was like lots of fun, like little intermissions, like, ooh, I'm filling out a patient registration form to confirm that I am a UK, confirm that I have a UK registered GP. Ooh, how exciting. Then I had to get an X-ray done just to confirm, because it sounded like I was in a lot of pain. Ooh, very exciting. Then I had to speak to someone who asked if I had any allergies, and ooh, yeah, this is all very fun and new, this process. But yeah, I think I need to get some glass and properly do these balls, because they're gonna look very weird if I don't. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do here. But yeah, it was all incredibly exciting. But it ended up just again, there was 8 people there. It took 4 hours. In the end, I did actually get some decent advice of like, okay, so, you know, we know that you're gonna be doing these things anyway. Here are some very strong painkillers if you need them. You know, try not to, but if you need them, because they actually offered like, do you want them or not? And I was like, oh, how about if that's an option? They're like, yep, here you go. That's cool. You know, like usually you have to pay for prescriptions in the UK, but apparently not if you have an injury. So free, like actually free healthcare. That's fun. That's exciting. Everyone loves getting a bargain, and I get a bargain in the sense that, you know, it didn't cost me money right there. Obviously, it's cost me a lot of money up until that point. Anyway, so got to get a little bargain going on. Get some. This is the first time I've ever been given something that on the package is like, warning is incredibly addictive. please speak to G. You know, there's like so many warnings about it because it's I think it's an opioid technically. So like I'm America over here with my healthcare choices. Anyway, so basically it was a very fun experience, and they just concluded like, yeah, so your toe is definitely broken. Your elbow, oh sorry, your toe is I think fractured is actually the word. Your toe is definitely fractured. That's why it looks so that's why it looks. See, I'm allowed to swear when talking about my pain. That's why it looks so incredibly strange. Your ribs just, you know, they're just sore. They're not broken. Good news. Your thumb isn't broken. That was like good to me. So I can crouch all I like, and it's not a broken or a fractured bone. But your elbow is like probably fractured in a couple of places, and so they're gonna do an MRI just to confirm if it is. Because again, even if right now, I'd love to show you how little I can move my elbow without causing myself the most excruciating pain. But yeah, it's like, so they gave me a sling. I walked out of there. It was a lot of fun. This was a long story to tell you basically. Yeah, I got very minorly injured. But I wanted to tell you it anyway, Internet, because I feel like it's my excuse for not doing something yesterday. But I'm gonna stick, even though I'm like genuinely injured in such a way that I basically can't, like I can't edit this video. That's why it's one take. It's going to hurt me just to move the outro onto this video. So when you watch that outro, feel the same way as when you watch me crouch. Anyway, but there's a lot of things I physically cannot do, right? But even then, I'm gonna use this as my opportunity to say so, because lots of people can believe things when it's easy, but I think when you believe something when it's hard, that's when you actually believe something, right? Like, this is what, like, I don't know, religious people will use to prove their point. But, you know, leave your mind out of the gutter for a minute, and let's talk about, the gutter is religion, apparently. And let's actually talk about, like, I have this strong belief. Apparently, I didn't know until I was looking up, something to do with the love languages this last week. That, like, you know, it's a common link to some other things that apparently exist in a person. But like, I find like broken promises to be like one of the harder things to deal with in the world. Maybe that's because I've had too many promises broken on me. Maybe not. But I feel like you know, like using an excuse to avoid, you know, like using an excuse and then being like, aha, look, it's there. Like, I've never liked that. Like, even if you have a really genuinely good excuse, like I cannot show up, I am actually sick. You know, I have COVID. I cannot show up because, you know, my parents just died in a tragic house fire. It's like, well, I mean, first of all, should have just hit the subscribe button. I mean, it wasn't that hard to do. I can't even feel sympathy for you, because if you're not willing to hit the subscribe button now, when are you? But can I make a joke about people's parents dying and leaving them orphans? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. But obviously, okay, we're gonna really finish this now. See, this is the moment of truth, right? This is the moment where all of this. Okay, wait. I'm gonna clip this later. So look at this clever use of the clip now. So this is the moment where everything. Wait. No, you wanna see? Look, this is the high quality ingenuity of ToyCat content. Is not even having the decency to hit stop and start recording, because that means I'm gonna have to edit this later, but instead be like, and so this is the moment that I take my hole, which is currently just a chunk of ocean, and then I make it even deeper than that, because I spent about an hour and a half digging this hole that I'm now going to let the water fall into. Honestly, because I've got a conduit in here, it might have made sense to just dig it anyway, but every single block we dig now will let water down into the hole, and we'll start filling this, which is my whole reason here. I want to make this one chunk of ocean that does exist super, super, super deep, and just you watch me as I do that, because it's gonna be beautiful. Isn't it just? Anyway, that's the clip from the thing. See, now Harrison can take that from the video, and then we can make an ocean draining project video. Anyway, so, I think that, like, excuses are kind of like just excuses. Like, I think, you know, you can do, unless even when you physically can't do something, it's like, well, there's things that led to that. I don't know why I struggle with it so much, but I kind of do in a lot of levels. Maybe that's me that needs to grow. Maybe that's just, you know, society that needs to. But like, you know, there are convenient ways out of everything, and it's good that we have ways out. But also, it shouldn't be seen as like a, oh, get out of jail free card. Like, oh yeah, well, you know, you are feeling slightly sick in very non-describable ways that won't stop you from doing everything else in your life, but will in this particular way. Oh, that's fine though, because you know that's good. That's just practicing good hygiene, you know. Anyway, so long story short, I genuinely do feel bad about not uploading this Let's Play yesterday, even though I physically couldn't because I was like just laying down trying to heal my very again, not broken. We have found out they're not broken bones. They're just very, I guess, you know, they're not broken bones in the sense that they're broken bones, but they're broken in the sense that they're not functioning. So my very not functioning bones. I was like, you know, just like with everything, you take a lazy day, you do next to nothing, and then at the end of the lazy day, oh, I think I'm digging one block too far in. Yep, that's a big mistake to make. But yeah, you have a lazy day, everything feels better. And honestly, the excruciating pain has gone away. Mostly because I do have a little sling on to stop myself from extending or not extending my elbow. But look at me, I'm able to press down on my thumb. Look at this crouching. This is just me hurting myself for your pleasure. Do you like that, internet? Do you like that? If so, there's some things you should look up about yourself. And you know what? It's perfectly normal, or it's not perfectly normal. Go get that looked into. Anyway, so what was the point of this Let's Play again? Was it to help someone out of their life? I guess so. I think that my point I'm trying to say about all this is that if you're also like me, then I think the one time you should break your rule of like try to avoid like the concept of healthcare at all costs, which admittedly like it is kind of baked into the system that the more you, especially as a young 20-something, too many people are hypochondriacs that go to the vast majority of healthcare resources go to people who don't need to use them. I think I've done the thing where I'm digging in again. Oh no, I haven't. The vast majority of healthcare resources do go to people who don't need them. Like old people who are just bored looking for something to do in the winter, you know? It's, you can look into this, at least in the UK. I don't know if it's true in countries where you have to pay for it. But like there's a huge number of people who are just like, yeah, I mean, like, I do feel slightly less than normal. And the doctor has to be like, yeah, that's because you're 91. Your body's not going to feel just fine like it used to. And it is very sad that no one in your life is choosing to call you. But, you know, my time could be better spent, like, saving lives, maybe, question mark? But again, maybe it is saving a life to, you know, take someone who is very lonely and just talk to them for a bit about themselves and their body. Who knows for sure? I don't know for sure. All I know for sure is that, yeah, if you, when there's like bones involved, I think that's the time you're meant to contact a doctor. That's my pro tip with Toy Cat. Don't speak to a healthcare professional unless there are bones involved. It's also my rules for talking to the police. See, there we go. You work out what that means. I don't even know, you know. But I hope you enjoyed this video, by the way. Was it good? Let me know in the comments down below. I need to get a shulker box so I can take all these blocks and throw them in one, I reckon. Yeah, that's a good idea. I also need to get some glass out in here. But for now, look at this just intense hole we have. Isn't this beautiful? Do you like looking at my big hole, internet? Oh, I guess we can't see the big hole. Honestly, see, I spent all that time getting it down to Y14, but it functionally goes all the way down to bedrock right now. So you can't even spot the difference. I hope you enjoyed the aquatic update music. I hope you enjoyed the video, the music, the words, the everything else. These long Let's Plays are some of my favorite to make. Just to hang out, to talk, to chill, to go deep on things, to give you an update. I think that too often we in a shorter form video, the focus on the topic needs to be much more there. And it means it precludes you from having the much deeper, more important, more meaningful discussions. It's harder to have those, and it's harder to have them in any form that YouTube will actually recommend to people because of current algorithm 2021, am I right? But I do think that it's still worth doing so. You know, just because talking deep is hard, it doesn't mean that talking deep isn't worth doing. And thank you for coming along for this journey with me today. I feel like it takes time, but it's worth it. Just like, I don't know, my bones hopefully healing. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, because I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Unless I don't, obviously, in which case I won't see you all then. But like, I probably will. So, see you. Oh, I've got a cool video. Like, I liked it at least. Right, so all the parody videos I've made before on my channel have been like a very scripted setup world where I'm showing very specific things. I figured I'd just load up a Java world for 20 minutes and point out every single change I could spot on the fly. You know, just like things I noticed. And we'd see how many parity differences we could spot in 20 minutes. I think it's a cool video. I think you'll enjoy it. But like, you know, I think that you'd enjoy being alive. And some of you disagree with me on that. But I hope you take my word for it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Good. Wait. I'll see you all. Look at me. I'm doing inventory management. Are you proud, internet? I know I never do inventory management. But I'm doing it today. I want you to appreciate me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Look at this wave. It doesn't look anything like a wave. YouTubers do it, and you're like, wow, look. He's waving at me. But I just want you to appreciate my crouch. Goodbye. Oh, I didn't even need to hold it down because it's toggle on. Oh my god, I've been holding it down for no reason. It's toggle crouch on when you're not in the water. I hate my life. Goodbye. You know what if we just don't upload this with an outro? Like, would anyone notice? I reckon they wouldn't. Yeah, that's my idea. Wait, I'll just do the outro now. On the left, here's a let's play from a week ago. On the right's another random video that you don't know why you're being recommended. Okay, that's my outro.